Majnanatunandasya Jnanashlavakaya Akshorotamitra Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ishitanya Manobhishtam Sadhana Bhutale Swayam Rupa Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Ram Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupa Sagadata Sagana Gunatam Sadvaitam Savadvaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Sadhana Radhika Shri He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Gopasha Gopika Radha Kanaka Namosute Sapta Kanchana Gaura Vikati Parmeshwari Devi Pranamami Havipriye Vanchaka Pratale Sindhu Vyaivacha Dhanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. So after a long holiday, very difficult for people to resume. um, so then chapter 18, verse 66. So God willing, we'll read Bhagavad Gita today or tomorrow, depending on how we go. For now, Krishna was telling Arjuna the importance of surrendering to him. And in this particular verse, he concluded that by saying, abandon all whatever I've told you, just surrender unto me, and I will deliver you from sin. So in this verse, Krishna shows that total surrender is the conclusion of all religion. Totally surrender to the will of God. Just like the Christians, they are celebrating Easter. What is the symbol of Easter? It's total surrender of Jesus Christ. Even when he was praying, he saw that the pain is going to be so much. He wished that God would remove it. Then he saw that because it's already destined, there's nothing he can do. Totally surrender to the will of God. So that, even when after crucifying him on the cross, he was praying to those people who crucified him because he knows that sin to the, or he commit offense to the devotee of God, the one who is completely surrendered to God, not only the person who committed that sin or offense will die, the whole family of that person will be destroyed. God doesn't tolerate any offense committed to a single saint. That is why even when he was on the cross, he was pleading to his father to forgive them because he knows what will happen to the family. And anyone who is connected to that, to those people who did that, so he was praying to forgive them. So that is the way of saintly personalities, pure devotee of the Lord, total surrender. So same thing Krishna is emphasizing to Arjuna here in chapter 18, verse 66. Surrender unto me, surely I will take care of you. Do not fear. That is the promise of God. So there's no any reason to be afraid of total surrendering to God. Because God will surely fulfill part of his own promise. He will always reciprocate. We just have to do our part with faith. So let's read the purport and hear the description of Srila Bhakti Thakur explaining what surrendering means in the purport. So as we are reading it, we may not rush it, but because this particular purport is very rich. So don't need to rush it. Let's take it until we finish it. Then we can read other one, we can rush others. Okay, the purport. We read it the other day.
I can read, Prabhu.
Yes, please.
Sorry. The Lord has described various kinds of knowledge and processes of religion. Knowledge of the Supreme Brahman, knowledge of the Super Soul, knowledge of the different types of orders and statuses of social life, knowledge of the renounced order of life, knowledge of non-attachments, sense and mind control, meditation, etc. He has described in so many ways different types of religion. Now, in summarizing Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that Arjuna should give up all the processes that have been explained to him. He should simply surrender to Krishna. That surrender will save him from all kinds of sinful reaction. For the Lord personally promises to protect him. In the 7th chapter, it was said that only one who has become free from all sinful reaction can take to the worship of Lord Krishna. Thus, one may think that unless he is free from all sinful reaction, he cannot take to the surrendering process. So such doubt, it is here said that even if one is not free from all sinful reaction, simply by process of surrendering to Sri Krishna, he is automatically freed. There is no need of strenuous effort to free oneself from sinful reaction. One should un what is it? Accept Krishna as the supreme savior of all living entities. With faith and love, one should surrender unto him. The process of surrender to Krishna is described in the Hari Bhakti Vilasa 11.676. Anukulasya Sankalpa Pratikulyasya Varjanam Rakshinsati Visvaso Goptritui Varanam Tata Atma Nikshipa Karpanye Tadvidha Saranagati. According to the devotional process, one should simply accept such religion principles that will lead ultimately to the devotional service of the Lord. One may perform a particular what? Occupational duty according to his position and the social order. But if but, but if by executing his duty one does not come to the point of Krishna consciousness, all his activities are in vain. Anything that does not lead to the perfectional stage of Krishna consciousness should be avoided. One should be confident that in all circumstances Krishna will protect him from all difficulties. There is no need of thinking how one should keep the body and soul together. Krishna will see to that. One should always think himself helpless and should consider Krishna the only basis for his progress in life. As soon as one seriously engages himself in devotional service to the Lord in full Krishna consciousness, at once he becomes freed from all contamination of material nature. There are dif- different processes of religion and purificatory processes by cultivation of knowledge, meditation in the mystic yoga system, etc. But one who surrenders unto Krishna does not have to execute so many methods. That simple surrender unto Krishna will save him from unnecessarily wasting time. One can thus make all progress at once and be freed from all sinful reaction. One should be attracted by the beautiful vision of Krishna. His name is Krishna because he is all attractive. One who becomes attracted by the beautiful, all-powerful, omnipotent vision of Krishna is fortunate. There are different kinds of transcendentalists. Some of them are attached to the impersonal Brahman vision. Some of them are attracted by the supersoul feature, etc. But one who is attracted to the personal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and above all, one who is attracted by the Supreme Personality of God as Krishna himself, is the most perfect transcendentalist. In other words, devotional service to Krishna in full consciousness is the most confidential part of knowledge. And this is the essence of the whole Bhagavad Gita. Karma yogis, empiric philosophers, mystics, and devotees are all called transcendentalists. But one who is pure devotee is the best of all. The particular word used here, ma chocha, don't fear, don't hesitate, don't worry, are very significant. One may be perplexed as to how one can give up all kinds of religions, form and simply surrender unto Krishna, but such worry is useless. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. So here in the purport, when the word translated religion, we may be thinking that Krishna is talking about different religions in our society. No. Religion means dharma. In Sanskrit, Prabhupada even mentioned that dharma has no equivalent in English language. Dharma means that which cannot be, cannot be separated from its nature. So Prabhupada mentioned in the beginning of the purport what Krishna meant by religion. Sarva Dharman, or variety of religion. There's no equivalent word for religion in English. That's what Prabhupada said. Or here translated to the religion. So Prabhupada means knowledge of the Supreme Brahman, knowledge of the Super Soul, knowledge of different types of orders, and all this knowledge that Krishna has given to Arjuna. This is what Krishna meant by Dharma. So he's telling him to abandon all such knowledge and just surrender unto him. That is the operation of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, and Prabhupada mentioned quoted Srila Bhakti Thakur explanation of what surrender means. There are 6 items or 6 steps of surrendering mentioned in the purport. Number 1 is alukulasya sankapa. What does that mean? Surrendering begins from accept all what is favorable for devotional service. That is surrendering. Whatever is favorable to devotional service, you accept. That is the beginning of surrendering. Okay, chanting the only name of the Lord, studying the scripture, like that, or whatever is, favorable for devotional service, you accept. Praticulasya varijanam. Whatever is not favorable to devotional service, you reject. Okay, no meat eating, no fish, no egg, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling. They are not favorable for devotional service. You reject. That is surrendering. No this, no that, no onion, no garlic. Whatever is recommended in the scripture, reject. That is the second step of surrendering. Particular Varjana. Then the next one is Rakshishin attitude visual show. One always think that Krishna or God is only protected in this world. So it depends only on God for his protection and no one else. So that is another level of surrendering. And after that is Gopinatwe Varana. You think that Krishna is the only your maintainer, no one else. The only protector, the only maintainer. And Atmani Shepa means one completely depend on the Lord alone and no one else. And kampaye, you always think that the Lord is going to give you his mercy. You always depend on his mercy. So sad, so Bhakti mentioned that Vidya Sharana got it. This sentence is called surrendering. We surrender to the Lord. So these are the different steps of surrendering to the Lord. Number one, whatever is favorable, you accept. Number two, whatever is not favorable, you reject. The Lord is only on the lectern, you depend on him and no one else, and nothing else in this world. This of surrendering to the Supreme Lord. So we have to continue this process. Because surrendering to the Lord is the goal of life, is the perfection of life. Those who have realized this and surrender completely to God, they attain supreme bliss. Any comment or question regarding this? Okay, let's continue. Now let's go to 7. Now Krishna will be handing off Bhagavad Gita. Idam te natapaks astaya napapdaya kadashana nashushrushave vasham nachamamyo byasu yati. This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, not to one who is envious of me. So this knowledge is not for everyone. This Bhagavad Gita is not for everyone. So Krishna mentioned here. Okay? Well, if you are not austere, you are not engaging in devotional service, and if you are envious of God, you will never understand Bhagavad Gita. Okay, let's read the purport.
Okay, I'll read.
Yes, please.
Okay, purport. Persons who have not undergone the austerities of the religious process, who have never attempted devotional service in Krishna consciousness, who have not tended a pure devotee, and especially those who are conscious of Krishna only as a historical personality, or who are envious of the greatness of Krishna, should not be told this most confidential part of knowledge. It is, however, sometimes found that even demoniac persons who are envious of Krishna, worshipping Krishna in a different way, take to the profession of explaining Bhagavad Gita in a different way to make business. But anyone who desires actually to understand Krishna must avoid such commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. Actually, the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is not understandable to those who are sensuous. Even if one is not sensuous but is strictly following the disciplines enjoined in the Vedic scripture, if he is not a devotee, he also cannot understand Krishna. And even when one poses himself as a devotee of Krishna, but is not engaged in Krishna conscious activities, he also cannot understand Krishna. There are many persons who envy Krishna because he has explained in Bhagavad Gita that he is the supreme and that nothing is above him or equal to him. There are many persons who are envious of Krishna. Such persons should not be told of Bhagavad Gita, for they cannot understand. There is no possibility of faithless persons understanding Bhagavad Gita and Krishna. Without understanding Krishna from the authority of a pure devotee, one should not try to comment upon Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada strongly explain what Krishna meant in the verse. So you will not understand this, only the Indians will understand. So many commentators of Bhagavad Gita. Many of them are envious of Krishna. They say Krishna has no form. They say all kind of things about Krishna. So Prabhupada is strongly speaking to those. Okay. Yamidam paramam yama bhakti shwabidasyati. Okay. Bhakti mayi param pritva mame vasyati asamshaya. For one who explained this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed. And at the end, he will come back. So after Krishna already explained, those who should not, this knowledge should not be explained to, now he's giving benediction for those who are explaining it to those who are qualified to hear it. Okay, so one who is explaining Bhagavad Gita to devotees, surely that person will attain pure devotional service to Krishna. So this is the benediction given to everyone who is preaching Krishna consciousness. Those who are going out to distribute Krishna Prabhupada books, all of them are given blessing by Krishna here. Okay? So let's read the purport.
Generally, it is advised that Bhagavad Gita be discussed amongst the devotees only, for those who are not devotees will understand neither Krishna nor Bhagavad Gita. Those those who do not accept Krishna as he is and Bhagavad Gita as it is should not try to explain Bhagavad Gita whimsically and become offenders. Bhagavad Gita should be explained to persons who are ready to accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is subject matter for the devotees only, and not for the philosophical speculators. Anyone, however, who tries sincerely to present Bhagavad Gita at, as it is will advance in devotional activities and reach the pure devotional state of life. As a result of such pure devotion, he is sure to go back home, back to God in Hare Krishna.
For those who are the preacher of Bhagavad Gita to others, this is their destination. That is why the devotees derive pleasure in preaching about Bhagavad Gita or sharing the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita with others. Because for doing that, one is assured that after this life, we go back to the kingdom of God. So let us all try our best to share this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita with everyone about us. Then not only that Krishna continues to again speak how those are dear to him. Nacha tasma manuse shukasti me kriya krita maha bhavita nacha me tasma aya priya taro bhuvi. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. So for one who is speaking this Bhagavad Gita to others, who is preaching this Bhagavad Gita to everyone on this planet, to all the pure devotees who are doing this service, selfless service. Krishna is saying here, there's no one who is more dear to him than these devotees. Even the gopis, they confirm that in my Bhagavad with the famous verse, Tavakata Amritam Tata Jivanam Kadidam Kalmashapaham. A very nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, where the gopis also, they are describing the glories of pure devotee of the Lord who are spreading the message of Godhead to everyone. So to be a preacher of the message of God actually is the topmost service in this universe. Yesterday night, I was speaking with someone about scripture, and I was telling them that, some people, they engage in community service, barangay service. Some people, they engage in the country, in the state service. Some people engage in the country service, and some people engage in the United Nations service. Higher than all these engagements is those who engage in the service of God. But engaging in the service of God is a universal service, higher than United Nations service. So here Krishna is saying that there's no one who is more dear to him than one who is sharing this knowledge with others. Because they're engaging in the universal service. So they are very, very dear to God. God is the Lord of the universe. So engaging in universal service is the highest service in this universe, higher than any other services. Okay, so let's read the no purport. Let's continue. Adesyate chamyam mimam daryam sambandamayayo yanam jagena teneham ishtasyamiti me mati. And I declare that he who studied this sacred conversation of our worship, of this, and I declare that he who studied this sacred conversation of ours, worship me by his intelligence. You want to worship Krishna with your intelligence? Study Srimad Bhagavad Gita. That is how to worship Krishna with your intelligence. That is how to purify your intelligence by studying Bhagavad Gita. So it's very, very important. So anyone who studies Bhagavad Gita, you are worshiping Krishna with intelligence. Even when we finish Bhagavad Gita today, try again and start from the beginning and read it again. You know, the more you read it, the more you will enjoy it. You know, it's very much. You should not stop studying Bhagavad Gita again and again. The more you study, the more you understand. The more the knowledge will be revealed to you. The more you appreciate it more and more. The more those slokas you love will come to your brain. Okay. Shadavamana suyascha shriyo yarapiyo nara supimokta subhanokam prapno yatmuya karmanam. And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attain to the auspicious planet where the pious dwell. Okay? So Krishna is saying, and one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reaction and attain to the auspicious planet where the pious dwell. So just hearing Bhagavad Gita without no envy, with faith, you know, naturally you go to the higher planets, the heavenly planets. You know, that's such a wonderful, you know, can hear the glories of what benefits by studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The one who is very intelligent will study it very sincerely and seriously. Okay, let's read the purports.
Okay, I'll read.
Let's go.
Okay, Herbert. In the 67th verse of this chapter, the Lord explicitly forbade the Gita's being spoken to those who are enemies of the Lord. In other words, Bhagavad Gita is for the devotees only. But it so happens that sometimes a devotee of the Lord will hold open class. And in that class, not all the students are expected to be devotees. Why do such persons hold open class? It is explained here that although not everyone is a devotee, still there are many men who are not enemies of Krishna. They have faith in him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If such persons hear from a bona fide devotee about the Lord, the result is that they become at once free from all sinful reactions, and after that attain to the planetary system where all righteous persons are situated. Therefore, simply by hearing Bhagavad Gita, even a person who does not try to be a pure devotee attains the result of righteous activities. Thus, a pure devotee of the Lord gives everyone a chance to become free from all sinful reactions and to become a devotee of the Lord. Generally, those who are free from sinful reactions, those who are righteous, very easily take to Krishna consciousness. The word punya karmanam is very significant here. This refers to the performance of great sacrifices, like the Ashwamedha Yajna, mentioned in the Vedic literature. Those who are righteous in performing devotional service, but who are not pure, can attain the planetary system of the pole star, or Dhruvaloka, where Dhruva Maharaj is presiding. He is a great devotee of the Lord, and he has a special planet, which is called the pole star. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So, yeah, Prabhupada is explaining to us, even if you are not a devotee of Krishna, just by hearing Bhagavad Gita, you become purified of your sinful reaction. And here he also mentioned those who are righteous, performing devotional service, but who are not pure can attain the planetary system of. So you see, there is no loss or diminution on this part of devotional service. So yeah, Papa said those who are pure. But sorry, those who are righteous, but who are not pure. What does that mean? So, if you're engaging in devotional service and you still want material things, so you are righteous, but you are not pure. Because pure devotional service means no more material desires. Pure devotional service means no more material desires. Anya bila sitam sunyam. Yana karma yana britam. Alukuyena Krishna Bhakti Uttama. Pure devotional service means no more material desire. All desire is zero. Like he mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, we read before, 1854, say, Abrahma Buddha Prasana Pranaso Sati Natasha T. Sama Saveshubu Chuma Bhakti Labate Param. When you become free from material desire, no more anchoring, no more lamentation. That is the platform of pure devotional service. So for such devotee, only them can enter into the kingdom of God. But here properly mentioned in the purport, so sometimes we may be righteous as a devotee, and we are not pure. This material desire still there. For such devotee, at the end, when they leave their body, they go to that Drupa planet, the pole star. That pole star is the spiritual world in the material world. It's the abode of Lord Vishnu in the material world here. Because why? Dhruva wants a planet that is greater than the great grandfather, Lord Brahma. That planet is the abode of Lord Vishnu himself in this material world. So the Lord personally gave it to Dhruva Maharaj. So even though you are not pure as a devotee, but you are right, properly righteous, you go to that planet. It means you'll be given opportunity to serve even Krishna in that planet, because Dhruva Maharaj is a pure devotee. And in his planet, you can imagine what will be going on there. So that is it. So just by hearing Bhagavad Gita, you can attain all these benefits. That is the importance of studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita. I don't want to go to another Gopinath temple. He scrutinizingly studied Bhagavad Gita. He knows practically all the verses in Bhagavad Gita. Whenever he's giving a lecture like this, and he'll be quoting Bhagavad Gita, he has studied it again and again. So we have to pick a particular book and try to master that book. Bhagavad Gita or Chaitanya Charitamrita or Srimad Bhagavatam, study it again and again. Try to master it. It's easier to study Bhagavad Gita in just like the Christian, they master Bible. You can easily master Bhagavad Gita by studying it again and again and again and again, like that. And you can see all the benefits of studying Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentioned here. Okay. Let's continue. We're almost there. Okay, you're going to get all the benefits. Kashi ita shuddham partha tyaya kagrena shetasa kashya jnana samoha panastaste dhananjaya. O son of Peter, O daughter of earth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusion now dispelled? So Krishna also indirectly telling us here the mood in which we should listen to Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is asking Arjuna, have you heard with attentive mind? Means that we should be very attentive when listening to Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And we are going to listen to Arjuna's reply after this place. Very wonderful reply. To show that Krishna does not, he allows our independence. He allows it, doesn't force anyone. Okay, so let's read the purport here.
I can read it.
Go.
Want me to? The Lord was acting as the spiritual master of Arjuna. Therefore, it was his duty to inquire from Arjuna whether he understood the whole Bhagavad Gita in its proper perspective. If not, the Lord was ready to re-explain any point or the whole Bhagavad Gita if so required. Actually, anyone who hears Bhagavad Gita from a bona fide spiritual master like Krishna or his representative will find that all his ignorance is dispelled. Bhagavad Gita is not an ordinary book written by a poet or fiction writer. It is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Any person fortunate enough to hear these teachings from Krishna or from his bona fide spiritual master representative is sure to become a liberated person and get out of the darkness of ignorance.
Yeah. You cannot listen to Bhagavad Gita and still remain in ignorance. Never. You will feel that your ignorance is being destroyed. Just like David is smiling and he can understand what Prabhupada is saying in the purport. He could feel it. Yeah, my ignorance is destroyed. Yes. Yeah, you cannot study Bhagavad Gita and don't feel like your ignorance is destroyed. You relish it every day. It's very wonderful. Bhagavad Gita is very sweet. Actually, I've studied Bhagavad Gita again and again and again. Anytime I'm reading it, it's like it's like a new, even though I've read this particular verse and I memorize it, again, if I'm reading it, it's like, wow, I never thought this perspective of it, you know. Then you get new ideas, new deep meanings of that particular verse. Before you read it, you get, you know, deeper meanings, like ocean that has no shore. Very deep. Because these are spiritual, you know, vibration from the mouth of the Supreme Personality of God himself. So it's unlimited. Even though it was written in 700 verses, but the knowledge there is so deep and so deep that you cannot fathom it. So, very wonderful. Let's continue. So now Arjuna is replying to Krishna's statement. What did Arjuna say? Nashto moham smriti labda tua prasada maya shuddha ito smekanta sandeha karishye vachanam tava. I love this sloka. The singing is very sweet. Nashto moha smriti labda tua prasada maya shuddha Stitosme kata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. So Arjuna is saying, my dear Krishna, oh invaluable one, my illusion is gone now, gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubts, and I'm prepared to act according to your instruction. So this is the conclusion of one who have properly, attentively heard Bhagavad Gita. This will be your realization if you have truly heard Bhagavad Gita. Your illusion will be gone, and your doubt will be destroyed. Then you'll be ready to surrender to Krishna and follow his instruction. This is the conclusion of the realization of one who have properly, attentively listened to Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Okay. If you have not come to this level that the illusion is gone, doubt is destroyed, and ready to follow Krishna's instruction, then you have not heard Bhagavad Gita. Let's read the purport.
I read it, Prabhu.
Yes. Please.
The constitutional position of a living entity represented by Arjuna is that he has to act according to the order of the Supreme Lord. He is meant for self-discipline. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the actual position of living entity is that of eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. Forgetting this principle, the living entity becomes conditioned by material nature. But in serving the Supreme Lord, he becomes the liberated servant of God. The living entity's constitutional position is to be a servitor. He has to serve either the illusory Maya or the Supreme Lord. If he serves the Supreme Lord, he is in his normal condition. But if he prefers to serve the illusory external energy, then certainly he will be in bondage. In illusion, the living entity is serving in this material world. He is bound by his lust and desires, yet he thinks of himself as the master of the world. This is this is called illusion. When a person is liberated, his illusion is over, and he is voluntarily surrenders unto the Supreme to act according to his desires. The last illusion, the last snare of Maya, the trap, the living entity. The proposition that he is God. The living entity thinks that he is no longer a conditioned soul, but God. He is unintelligent that he does not think that if he were God, then how could he be in doubt? That he does not consider, so that he is the last snare of illusion. Actually, to become free from the illusory energy is to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and agree to act according to his order. The word moha is very important in this verse. Moha refers to that which is opposed to knowledge. Actually, real knowledge is the understanding that every living being is eternally a servitor of the Lord. But instead of thinking oneself in that position, the living entity thinks that he is not a servant, that he is the master of this material world, for he wants to lord it over the material nature that is his illusion. This illusion can be overcome by the mercy of the Lord or by the mercy of pure devotee. When that illusion is over, one agrees to act in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is acting according to Krishna's order. A conditioned soul, illusioned by the external energy of matter, does not know that the Supreme Lord is the Master who is full of knowledge, who is the proprietor of everything. Whatever he desires, he can bestow upon his devotees. He is the friend of everyone. He is the especially inclined to his devotee. He is the controller of his material nature and of all living entities. He is also the controller of inexhaustible time. He is full of all opulences and all potencies. The Supreme Personality of Godhead can even give himself to the devotee. One who does not know him is under the spell of illusion. He does not become a devotee, but a servitor of Maya. Arjuna, however, after hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, became free from all illusion. He could understand that Krishna was not only his friend, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he is understood Krishna factually. So to study Bhagavad Gita is to understand Krishna factually. When a person is full of knowledge, he is naturally surrenders to Krishna. When Arjuna understood that it was Krishna's plan to reduce the unnecessarily increases of population, he agreed to fight. He agreed to fight according to Krishna's desire. He again took up his weapons, his arrows, and vowed to fight under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So that's now, like we said many times, this Bhagavad Gita was just less than 45 minutes to Arjuna. Arjuna, Krishna on the battlefield. So Arjuna was refusing to fight. He refuses to fight, and Arjuna Krishna has to convince him to fight. So Bhagavad Gita was spoken to him, and after hearing Bhagavad Gita, now he has made a decision. Yeah. Master Moha Srintilata Chada Maya Shuta Sito Sitan Sandatandeha Vachanam Tava. So yeah, Krishna already after hearing Bhagavad Gita, he came to a conclusion. Krishna, now understand my illusion is not, my doubt is finished. I'm going to follow your instruction and fight. But this fight is only war. I will fight for your pleasure. So this is the conclusion of Arjuna understanding both knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, surrender to the will of God. Okay, so it's very, very important to surrender to the spiritual surrender of God is the goal of life. So all our activities, all our endeavor is to get towards this purpose of life. Whatever we are doing, we should always think, how can I connect it to God? How can I connect it to Krishna? Then that is the only way we can become successful in this life. Okay. So now 34. So now this conversation was originally between Sanjaya and the Sarasa. We all know in the beginning. Well, Sarasra Uvacha is the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. So now Sanjaya now we're going to give his own conclusion. He has already spoken, as he was saying in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna Krishna was speaking to Arjuna. He was revealing all this to Sanjaya. Okay. Now he's going to give his own conclusion. Sanjaya Uvacha Itiyaham Santidevasya Bhattasya Shamahatmana Sambadami Mamashosha Adgutam Ruma Ashalam. So Sanjaya said, because I have had the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna. So wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on head. Just imagine you are listening to this conversation directly in your meditation. Just like as if you are watching television. You know, you're watching TV in your house. You see Krishna on the chariot, Arjuna on the chariot, on the battlefield, and you are watching and you are listening to this conversation. This is what was happening to Sanjaya. So as he was watching that conversation, listening to it, seeing it in his mind, like as clear as the 4K HD television. Now it's feeling this goosebumps and his hair on the body is standing. Okay. So let's read the purport.
I'll read. Okay.
Yes, Mata, please.
Purport. In the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Dhritarashtra inquired from his secretary Sanjaya what happened on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The entire study was related to the heart of Sanjaya by the grace of his spiritual master, Vyasa. He thus explained the theme of the battlefield. The conversation was wonderful because such an important conversation between two great souls had never taken place before and would not take place again. It was wonderful because the Supreme Personality of Godhead was speaking about himself and his energies to the living entity, Arjuna, a great devotee of the Lord. If we follow in the footsteps of Arjuna to understand Krishna, then our life will be happy and successful. Sanjaya realized this, and as he began to understand it, he related the conversation to Dhritarashtra. Now it is concluded that wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, there is victory. Hare Krishna.
Right. So let's try it. What Sanjaya asked is tell us more. Yasa prasada shrutavam etago yamaham param yogam yogeshwara krishna shakisha alkataya tasvayam. So now it's glorifying his glory. By the mercy of Vyasa, I have had this most confidential thoughts directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. So by the mercy of Vyasa Devi, Sanjaya could see this battlefield of Kurukshetra in the palace of Sarasra. You know, those days, these cities, they were so advanced that they don't need TV to know what is going on in the far distance. Like today, we have TV, we have cameras, we can watch live stream from whatever is happening in China, whatever is happening in America. You can watch live stream. But those days, the sages were so advanced that their mind can stream what is going on in a particular place live, just like today they are doing that with technology. The technology was more mental those days, but now the technology has become more physical. Okay, that is the difference. The difference is those days they were so spiritually advanced that through the power of telepathy and clairvoyance, they can see whatever they want to see anywhere, any part of the world. But today, we have become so mentally degraded. We have no such mental strength. So those kind of telepathy or clairvoyance, only very few people you can see who can see that nowadays. Because now we have all this technology, you know, so people rely more on technology today. I can call somebody who is in Vietnam directly. We can speak face to face, live. I can watch what is going on in Vietnam. If I want people to show me live here in Vietnam, you know, I can watch what is going on in Nigeria. If mother you want to show me, you know, you can watch whatever you want to see, any part of the world. Technology today, so our mind is become so weak. And you know, the other day I was discussing with someone. When we are going to school, at least we still made that discipline during our time. When we are going to school in the secondary school those days, when we wanted to do our exam, we were not allowed to bring calculator into the exam hall. But today children, they are so weak, so dull, that they allow them to bring calculators, you know, so weak, you know. So you can see how the mental degradation is going on. Now we are in the AI world. You can imagine how they are going to be writing their exam in the future. You can just imagine that from now. See? So things are going, the brain memory will be becoming more and more weak. Only 1% of the people will be memorizing. They have a brain to 1% we have brain that will give more of this technology so that the 99% don't use their brain again. This is what will continue to happen in the age of Kali. Okay, let's read the purport.
Already.
Yes, please.
Vyasa was the spiritual master of Sanjaya, and Sanjaya admits that it was by Vyasa's mercy that he could understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means that one has to understand Krishna, not directly, but through the medium of the spiritual master. The spiritual master is the transparent medium, although it is true that the experience is still direct. This is the mystery of the disciplic succession. When the spiritual master is bona fide, then one can hear Bhagavad Gita directly. As Arjuna heard it, there are many mystics and yogis all over the world. But Krishna is the master of all yoga systems. Krishna's instruction is explicitly stated in Bhagavad Gita. Surrender unto Krishna, one who does so it is the topmost yogi. This is confirmed in the last verse of the sixth chapter. Yoginam api sarvisam. Narada is the direct disciple of Krishna and the spiritual master of Vyasa. Therefore, Vyasa is the bona fide as Arjuna because the he comes in the disciplic succession, and Sanjaya is the direct disciple of Vyasa. Therefore, by the grace of Vyasa, Sanjaya's senses were purified, and he could see and hear Krishna directly. One who directly hears Krishna can understand this confidential knowledge. If one does not come to the disciplic succession, he cannot hear Krishna. Therefore, his knowledge is always imperfect. At least as far as understanding Bhagavad Gita is concerned, in Bhagavad Gita, all the yoga systems, karma yoga, dhyana yoga, and bhakti yoga, are explained. Krishna is the master of all such mysticism. It is to be understood, however, that as Arjuna was fortunate enough to understand Krishna directly, so by the grace of Vyasa, Sanjaya was also able to hear Krishna directly. Actually, there is no difference between hearing directly from Krishna and hearing directly from Krishna via a bona fide spiritual master like Vyasa. The spiritual master is the representative of Vyasadeva also. Therefore, according to the Vedic system, on the birthday of the spiritual master, the disciples conduct the ceremony called Vyasa Puja.
So that's how the name of Vyasa Puja comes when we celebrate our Guru birthday, because they are all representing Vyasa Day. So we worship our spiritual master as the representative of Vyasa. And Vyasa Day happens to be the literal incarnation of Krishna himself. See? So only by the mercy of the spiritual master we can understand God. That's what Prabhupada is trying to portray for us here. Now, 76. So Sanjaya continues his realization. Raja Samsritya Samsritya Samvada Imala Buddha Vishava Vidyuna Yopunyam Rishya Vichamumu. Continue to wonder. Okay, as I repeatedly record this wondrous and all this dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure, being thrilled at every moment. Just imagine you are here in divine meditation and you can hear Krishna very clearly, you can see him talking with Arjuna. So wonderful. You cannot imagine what Sanjaya is expressing. You can only imagine. You cannot understand. You can only imagine. You know? So let's continue the performance.
Okay. Yeah, read it. The understanding of Bhagavad Gita is so transcendental that anyone who becomes conversant with the topics of Arjuna and Krishna becomes righteous, and he can forget such talks, and he cannot forget such talks. This is the transcendental position of spiritual life. In other words, one who hears the Gita from the right source, directly from Krishna, attains full Krishna consciousness. The result of Krishna consciousness is that one becomes increasingly enlightened, and he enjoys life with a thrill, not only for some time, but at every moment. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you very much. This is the result of Krishna consciousness that one become increasingly enlightened and enjoying life with a thrill, not only for some time, but at every. If you are properly Krishna conscious, This is what you experience every moment of your life. You are very blissful, happy. Always be appreciating Krishna and grateful for giving you such consciousness. It's only on that platform of that consciousness you can experience deep happiness. You know? Okay, Tacha Samsritya Rupamar Sriyatmutam Hare Ishmayo Me Maharajan Rishyami Chapuna Puna. Okay, guys, I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna. I am struck with wonder. More and more, I rejoice again and again. Just imagine, Sanjaya now is remembering that beautiful form of Krishna and remembering this conversation. You know, you can feel that joy inside him. Just imagine that. Okay?
Hare Krishna.
Rama.
It appears that Sanjay also, by the grace of Vyas, could see the universal form Krishna exhibited to Arjuna. It is of course said that Lord Krishna had never exhibited such a form before. It was exhibited to Arjuna only. Yet some great devotees could also see the universal form of Krishna when it was shown to Arjuna, and Vyasa was one of them. He's one of the great devotees of the Lord, and he is considered to be a powerful incarnation of Krishna. Vyasa disclosed this to his disciple Sanjaya, who remembered that wonderful form of Krishna exhibited to Arjuna and enjoyed it repeatedly.
Oh, Sanjaya enjoying Krishna consciousness just by remembering the wonderful. Just try to imagine you seeing Krishna in your heart, like a clear television, like 4K HD, whatever. So crystal clear, and you can just watch it like when you're watching a very high big screen. Sajaya was experiencing just to see that beautiful form of Krishna. He was thrilled and wondrous, you know, wondering again and again, and he's trying to relish that wonderful form seeing in his heart. So you cannot understand it, but express it one day, just like Sanjaya did. So at the end, Sanjaya now gave his own conclusion about describing the experience he got just by seeing this wonderful dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. He now gave his own opinion, which is a wonderful opinion for every devotee to always remember for the rest of their life. Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna, Yatra Prato Danundaraha, Yatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir, Yogama Mate Mama. So this is Sanjaya's opinion. Whenever there is Krishna, the master of all mysteries, and whenever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. And everybody already give a translation to this that it means that whenever there is Krishna and there is a pure devotee of the Lord, okay, there will be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. Okay. So we want to read the last purpose.
Okay. Okay, I can read, Prabhu. The Bhagavad Gita began with an inquiry of Dhritarashtra, who was hopeful of victory of his son, assisted by great warriors like Bhishma, Drona, and Karna. He was hopeful that the victory would be on his side. But after describing the scenes of the battlefield, Sanjaya told the king, "You are thinking of victory, but my opinion is that where Krishna and Arjuna are present, there will be all good fortune." He directly confirmed that Dhritarashtra could not expect victory for his side. Victory was certain for the side of Arjuna because Krishna was there. Krishna's acceptance of the post of charioteer of Arjuna was an exhibition of another opulence. Krishna is full of all opulences, and renunciation is one of them. There are many instances of such renunciation, for Krishna is also the master of renunciation. The fight was actually between Duryodhana and Yudhishthira. Arjuna was fighting on the behalf of his elder brother, Yudhishthira. Because Krishna is Arjuna were on the side of Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira's victory was certain. The battle was to decide who would rule the world. And Sanjaya predicted that the power would be transferred to Yudhishthira. It is also predicted here that Yudhishthira, after gaining victory in this battle, would flourish more and more because not only was he righteous and pious, but he was also a strict moralist. He never spoke a lie during his life. There are many less intelligent persons who take Bhagavad Gita to be in discussion of topics between two friends on the battlefield, but such a book cannot be scripture. Some many protest that Krishna incited Arjuna to fight, which is immoral, but the reality of the situation is clearly stated. Bhagavad Gita is the supreme instruction in morality. The supreme instruction of morality is stated in the 9th chapter. In the 34th verse, Man Manabhava Mad Bhakta, one must become a devotee of Krishna. In the essence of all religion is to surrender unto Krishna. Sarva Dharman Parityagya Mam Ekam Saranam Vraja. The instruction of Bhagavad Gita constitutes the supreme process of religion and of morality. All the other processes may be purifying, may lead to his processes, but the last instruction of the Gita is the last word, is the all morality and religion. Surrender unto Krishna. This is the verdict of 18th chapter. From Bhagavad Gita, we can understand that to realize oneself by philosophical speculation, by meditation is one process, but to fully surrender unto Krishna is the highest perfection. This is the essence of all teaching of Bhagavad Gita, the path of regulative principle according to the orders of social life and according to the different courses of religion may be a confidential path of knowledge, but although the rituals of religion are confidential, meditation and cultivation of knowledge are still more confidential, and surrender unto Krishna is in devotional service is full Krishna consciousness is the most confidential instruction. That is the essence of the 18th chapter. Another feature of Bhagavad Gita is that the actual truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. The absolute truth is realized in the three features: impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and ultimately the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Perfect knowledge of the absolute truth means perfect knowledge of Krishna. If one understands Krishna, then all the departments of knowledge are part and parcel of that understanding. Krishna is transcendental, for he is always situated in his eternal internal potency. The living entities are manifested of his energy and are divided into two classes, eternally conditioned and eternally liberated. Such living entities are innumerable and they are considered fundamental part of Krishna. Material energy is manifested into the 24 divisions. The creation is affected by eternal time. It is created and dissolved by external energy. This manifestation of the cosmic world repeatedly becomes visible and invisible. The Bhagavad Gita 5 principal subject matter have been discussed: the Supreme Personality of Godhead, material nature, the living entities, eternal time, and all kinds of activities. All is dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. All conceptions of the Absolute Truth, a personal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and any other transcendental conception exist within the category of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although superficial, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the living entity, material nature, and time appear to be different. Nothing is different from the Supreme, but the Supreme is always different from everything. Lord Chaitanya's philosophy is that of inconceivable, oneness, and difference. This system of philosophy constitutes perfect knowledge of the absolute truth. The living entity in his original position is pure spirit. He is just like an atomic particle of the Supreme Spirit. Thus, Lord Krishna may be compared to the sun and the living entities to the sunshine, because the living entities are the marginal energy of Krishna. They have the tendency to be in contact either with the material energy or with the spiritual energy. In other words, the living entity is situated between the two energies of the Lord. And because he belongs to the superior energy of the Lord, he has a particle of independence. By proper use of that independence, he comes under direct order of Krishna, thus attains his normal condition in the pleasure-giving potency. Thus, end of the Bhakti Vedanta purport to the 18th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of its conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. That brings us to the end of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 74. Okay. Any question or comment or contribution? You have had everything you need to hear from Krishna till now. Do you have any comment or contribution?
Brother Kavi?
Yes, what are you? Please.
Okay, I mean, I joined late, but I just wanted clarification
Okay.
in the way that Krishna often addresses Arjun by different names. Son of Kunti, son of Prita.
Okay.
Can you explain, is there any background to that?
Yes. Yeah, son of Kunti means, yeah, Arjuna is the son of, actually, the different names of Arjuna he was addressing him with, he was addressing him as son of Kunti because his the mother of Arjuna is Kunti, and his Prita. Huh? What is that name? What is the relationship with Prita with Arjuna? Chandra, can you remind me?
Son of Peter. No, sorry. Not coming to me.
Huh?
I'm not sure, bro. Peter?
Okay. Okay. Prita.
Arjuna.
Yeah, say it. Speak.
No, go ahead.
Now, I just want to know what is the name of that Prita. I know it's another relationship of Krishna with Arjuna. Arjuna with related to. I want to find out. Just 1 minute, Mother. Will do. Actually, Krishna is referring to Arjuna based on his qualities. Sometimes they call him Old Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya means the conqueror of wealth because his brother sent him to bring wealth for the kingdom. So Arjuna went conquering other kingdoms and brought wealth. That's why he's called Old Dhananjaya. So sometimes they may call him Dhananjaya also. So all the different
And I
names.
think there's
Krishna
one that is called Bharat.
Which one?
Call him son, is it son of Bharat? Is it
Which
Bharat?
one of Bharat, because it's from
Best of the Bharatas.
because it's coming from the lineage of Bharatas. Their dynasty is Bharat. That's why it's called him son of Bharat. So
Okay.
it just shows how Krishna is very sweet speaking to his friend. He calls him all kind of sweet names that is connected with him. Just like to show that Krishna is very poetic and sweet in his speaking also. He does not call him only one name. He refer to him based on all his quality and attributes and his relationship also. coming from a very high class family, son of elders of the Bharatas, because he's from the dynasty of Bharat. King Bharat is a very, very, very pious king in India. Even the Indian name was given after him, Bharat Vasha. So Arjuna is coming from that dynasty. So that is why it's called son of Bharat. And sometimes call him old Dhananjaya, because he he helped his brother to bring wealth to his kingdom. And okay, he call him Kunteya, son of Kunti, because his mother is Kunti. And they call the son of Prita. That son of Prita is not a person located. It's connected to this heritage also. That is very nice for you. That is a very nice observation, actually. Okay, that Peter actually is another name of Mother Kunti also. I know, but I just want to confirm. Yeah. So as I was just telling you on God, he said, in the Bhagavad Gita, also of Prita is a respectful and endearing name used by Krishna to address Arjuna. It's ignored that Arjuna is the son of Kunti. You know? So like that, we call him so many names based on his relationship and his activities, like that, Dhananjaya, or sometimes we call him Udakesha. Udakesha means one who have conquered sleep. You know, because Arjuna, when he was young, you know, he was even practicing the darkness. You know, he was not sleeping. That is why he became the best. You know, so like that. So he was all practicing. So Krishna sometimes refers to him as Udakesha, one who has conquered sleep also. So it's just a sweet way of Krishna referring to his friend when he was speaking to him, to show how sweet Krishna is speaking to someone. You know, just like you are speaking to a friend and you are calling that's your friend, all the sweet names related to his glories, or oh son of Prita, oh son of Conte, addressing him to remind him of his heritage, his greatness, and like that. Just show how sweet Krishna is, you know.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much for bringing that. Any other contribution or comment?
So what's the next book?
Actually, we are supposed to read Nectar of Devotion, but I see that here is very hot, and instead of us going for preaching in the evening, we are going in the afternoon because of the evening Bhagavad Gita. So we're thinking we want to put our preaching for the evening, and if we find best time to put the Nectar of Devotion, so we'll continue with Nectar of Devotion. Nectar of Devotion is supposed to be the next book, actually. It's a very nice book, which is about how to render devotional service. So we'll be talking about devotional service. Krishna talking about devotional service, Bhagavad Gita. So now study Nectar of Devotion is to teach you how to engage in devotional service.
Okay.
So we will communicate that to everyone. Let's see. And actually, we are trying to arrange for the National Council of Philippines. They are organizing Ministry of Education here also, where they're going to organize for this Bhakti Shastri also again all over Philippines, and So we are working the process of how to do it so that devotee will be properly certified after passing through this process, just like the ISKCON disciple course and all that. So we are already working on it. Already contacted the Ministry of Education in ISKCON. So once that is done, then they will communicate. We're going to start a new Bhakti Shastri for everyone in the Philippines. And people will register, they will pay some certain amount. And now we are not going to only have one teacher, but we are going to have various teachers. You know, Maharajas, you have senior devotees, taking turns to teach each of these books we are talking about. Now, for 1 year now, I've been doing this alone, you know. So the devotees, they are tired of seeing my face, you know. So we have to, so I try to see how we can organize it so that it will not be only me teaching it, or many other senior qualified devotees also can take turns. Somebody will take nectar of instruction, somebody will take nectar of devotion, somebody will take Bhagavad Gita 1 to 6, somebody will take Bhagavad Gita 7 to 12, somebody will take Bhagavad Gita 13 to 18, somebody will take the nectar of devotion. So we are going to share it like that. So I will encourage all the devotees who participated in this. Once that starts, also you should try to join, because to study this book again and again, for you to understand it, you need to study it at least 3 times, minimum of 3 times. See? So if that opportunity comes to study these books again, please just enroll and start again. Then you're going to hear different speakers and like that. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. If there's any other classes coming up, I will always inform you.
All right.
I hope you enjoyed the
Thank you very much.
You enjoyed the little one you joined. Maybe everyone want to like to see you.
Yes, I did.
Show your face to them.
Ah, the network is too bad. You know, every time I turn on my camera, it just
No, you don't need to
freezes.
speak now. Just turn on your
Face
camera and let them see
reveal.
you. Face reveal. They want to see you.
Face reveal.
I want to see your face. You not prepared to reveal your face? Okay, she's here. So she's a lawyer practicing, and Nikki, Mother Uju, Nikki also, she's pursuing law. So maybe you know, Nikki, she wants to pursue law. She's going to be a lawyer in the future. So you guys can connect and discuss law.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Okay. So any question, comments? Because after today, do you want me to give you assignment? Or you don't want assignment?
Yes, you should get us assignments.
Okay. Want the final assignment? Nobody is speaking, no. Only Papu David. It's like the ladies, they are not interested in assignment again.
What's the assignment?
Final one. Okay, the final assignment from we finish at which one? We stop at what chapter? Now we are supposed to do from 13 to 18.
13 to 18?
13 to 18. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we want to give. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give one chapter for each one of you. Except Modaniki, because she's going to be preparing for exam. And Modaniki, are you going to prepare? You are still preparing for your exam, no?
Yes, but also I have work, Prabhu. But I will participate.
You want to participate? I don't want to pressurize you, no? Okay, so we have 6 chapters. So let us pick one chapter that we want to take. Let's start. Just unmute yourself and pick your chapter. Huh?
Chapter 16.
So
Prabhu,
chapter
chapter
16.
15.
Chapter 16, you write it and send it to the group. Okay.
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 So what chapter you want, Prabhu David? You didn't mention.
Chapter 18.
Chapter 18, okay. The longest one.
Yes.
Prabhu, chapter 15.
You write it and send it to the group.
15. Okay.
Please pick your chapter.
I'll pick chapter 14, Prabhu.
Oh, very good. Chapter 14. That is very sweet, eh? 3 modes of nature. Okay. Any other one? The other 2 devotees already left who are supposed to pick other chapter. Whether would you want to pick any chapter that you want to present?
Is that allowed?
Huh?
Yes. Yes, allowed.
It's allowed. I want you to experience studying one
Oh,
chapter and
really?
trying to present it.
Okay, which one hasn't been taken? 13?
17 is there. So you want to pick 17?
Let's see. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, 17. So we have taken 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So remaining 13. Okay. Thank you very much. So we are going to give presentation on Friday. Is it okay? Friday
Okay.
is okay? Any
Yeah.
any comments on Friday?
Friday?
Friday is okay?
This Friday? Okay.
Yeah, this Friday.
Okay.
Please let me know so that if there's going to be any adjustments, let me do it now. This Friday is okay? So there's not going to be any classes
Friday's
from
fine.
now till
That's
Friday.
good.
Okay.
So thank you, sir. Friday, Hare Krishna. Thank you. See you on Friday. Thank you, everyone.